there's a little bit of audio problem on some of this, so hopefully it's not everybody's, it's just one or two persons. So I don't know if you guys can hear me okay. I'm calling the meeting of the Tri-Valley San Joaquin Regional Rail Authority to order for December 9th. The first item of business would be the Pledge of Allegiance, but it's really uncomfortable staring at everybody's midsection while we do the Pledge of Allegiance. So I would think we'll just dispense it and ask that you hug a nurse, a doctor, a firefighter, ambulance driver, somebody else. So that will be our patriotic moment for the day. Nice to see our vice chair is joining us from her car. Nice. Okay. And
have a quorum.
all right. So with that, I'll ask for a roll call vote, please.
Okay, sorry. This is Tamara. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep.
I'm being Candace's voice because she doesn't have one today. Okay, roll call. Director Akinjo? Director Cantu? Director Elliott? Chair Haggerty?
I'll be here.
Thank you. Director Hernandez?
Present.
Director Jobrack? Director King Tingle?
Here.
Director Marchand? Director McPartland?
Here.
Director Narum?
Here.
Director Alone?
Here.
Director Stepper?
Here.
Vice Chair Vargas?
Here.
Director Warner?
Here.
And Director Zuber? All right.
Can I watch?
Do we have a quorum? 9, we have 9. We have,
Conrad gave you a thumbs up.
thank you. Maybe somebody could just say it.
Yes, you do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, public comment and time in which you can address to anything that is not on today's agenda. We have 15 attendees and it doesn't appear that anybody has raised their hand.
We did not receive any written comment from the public.
Thank you. So with that, I'm looking for a motion on the consent calendar.
I'll move the consent calendar.
I'll
We're going
second.
to take the minutes, yeah. Okay.
Moved by Stepper, second by Alone. That was you, right, Philip? Good.
No, but I'll second it anyway.
I'm going to pick on you all day because this is your last meeting. Oh, wait, it's mine too.
Yes.
All right, so with that, roll call vote, please.
Director Akinjo?
Yeah, Mom.
Director Cantu? Director Elliott? Chair Haggerty?
Yes.
Director Hernandez?
Yes.
Director King Tingle?
Yes.
Director McPartland?
Yes.
Director Narum?
Yes.
Director Alone?
Unmute
I'm sorry,
yourself, Phil.
Director Alone?
Oops, sorry. Aye.
Director Stepper?
Here. Yes.
Vargas?
Yes.
Director Warner?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Yes, thank you. Okay, with that, we'll go to the executive director's report.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. This is certainly a momentous board meeting couple of milestones
I
being
wonder
met
if it is my computer.
with
Wasn't doing
the
so
selection
good.
of an operator for the Valley Link system. And then also the EIR was released this month. And Chair Haggerty, I've noticed that we have two special visitors on the Zoom call or on the Zoom meeting this afternoon. State Senator Susan Eggman
Where's
and
the
also
EIR?
former Assembly Member Catherine Baker. And I'll turn it to you for a few minutes, Chair Haggerty, if you'd like to ask them for a few comments today, or allow them to share a few comments.
Well, thank you. I guess what I would say, thanks for catching me a little bit off guard, but being the fact that I know both of them, it shouldn't be too difficult. First of all, congratulations to Assembly Member Eggman, now Senator Eggman, and we certainly are very proud of you and your accomplishments, and the fact that Catherine Baker continues to be very much involved in this project. I don't believe that we would be as far as we are if it wasn't for both of you and helping run the legislation that created us. And you know, I think we owe you all a debt of gratitude. I think if anything, this group has shown that two communities that maybe have a big mountain in between them can work together for the betterment of their communities and for their constituents. And I think that really this organization has been super fun to work with. But we're also getting a lot of work done. Sometimes we try to get things to move a little faster than normal, but sometimes we're not able to. But clearly, without your help, I don't think we would be as far as we are. So with that, I don't know which one of you would like to go first. I guess the senator goes first. Protocol, Senator Assembly. So Senator Eggman, welcome.
Thank you all very much, and very nice to see my former colleague Catherine Baker. We still stay in touch here and there, and certainly we came together through this project. And I think those remarks you just made, Scott, are a testament to why you've been an elected official for decades now. And I know this is going to be your last meeting as you retire. So I wanted to get on and just say, you know, I've worked with a lot of elected officials and a lot of public servants, and I think your work, and especially this being like maybe the cherry on top, is a real testament to somebody who knows their community, knows the needs, and also knows how to get things done. And that takes collaboration, that takes vision, and that takes a lot of hard work and looking for opportunities when they arise. And I think this project is a real testament to this entire board. As we say goodbye to you and welcome in Councilmember Vargas. Very nice to have her leading this next. But everybody on this board, I think, has done a tremendous job. But Scott, if not for you and Michael Tree, we wouldn't be as far along down this track as we are. And I have no doubt that this project will finally come to all the way to fruition, and we're going to find the rest of the funding we need. But I just wanted to take a couple minutes and get on and just to say how much I enjoyed working with you, how much I appreciate you. And those of us who are elected officials know this is not always an easy job at all, especially during incredibly divisive times. So those of us who are able to find ways to reach across the mountains and find ways to really get things done for people, I think is a testament to what public service should be. And hopefully on that track is what takes us back to where we will be. So enjoy your retirement. I think you said you were going to Tennessee, if I recall, with a daughter. So I will think very fondly of you in your time and know you have left this place better than you found it.
Well, thank you. I wasn't sure. You know, I feel like in Jerry Maguire, when he was being interviewed by Roy Firestone, he said, "You're not going to make me cry." You almost did, Senator. You almost did. I wasn't sure why you were on the call. I know, believe me, I'm on the verge and I don't want to. This is one of the few boards I want to leave. And I hope to continue to watch and stay involved just as you have been and Assemblymember Baker. So I wasn't sure why. I thought you were coming to celebrate the EIR.
That too.
Thank you very much. We've had a lot of wins. We've had a lot of wins together. This has been, like I said, everybody pulling together, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. We're just working for some folks that are stuck in traffic and have a miserable commute. is really
Amen.
what it boils down to. So thank you for taking the time to be on. I appreciate it. Assembly member?
Thank you, Scott. And I also congratulate Senator Eggman. It's a delight to see you again. And it's a delight to say, Senator, I'm so happy for you and know that the good work that you have done so far is just going to continue in the Senate. So very happy to get to share the Zoom stage with you and to recognize the milestone of today. And thank you, Scott. I remember just a few weeks after being elected in 2014, visiting in my office with you. I don't think I had anything on the walls. And the number one thing we both wanted to talk about was, wasn't called Valley Link at the time, but was getting the connection through the valleys together. And saw an immediate area where we among many that we were going to get to work together. And was not only is it from Senator Eggman's tenacity in the legislature to help 758 get across the finish line and on the governor's desk. And it was passed, by the way, I think at 2 a.m. in September of 2017, one of the last bills. But it was also your just complete tireless work. And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of elected officials who serve for many, many years, as you have, who don't have nearly the evidence throughout their community of your time and commitment. And so many times we had to huddle together with Senator Eggman, then Assembly Member Eggman, with our staff, and just you and I on the phone with the bill language in front of us, and just to get the right mix. And then afterwards, you know, we've continued working together to make sure the funding was coming through, and we just kept it on the right path. And what a wonderful mark you have left on our Tri-Valley community. As I've said in other forums, I'm so grateful as a constituent that you have that in you to not just get to be in office, but to really make a mark. So thank you for that. The EIR, you can always celebrate an EIR. We put a really aggressive schedule, if all y'all remember, in 758 to keep things moving along, and not many agencies could have stuck with that, but you've been leading the agency through to do this with Michael and others. So thank you. Really, really going to miss getting to see you at these Zoom meetings if you're off to Tennessee. But know that your mark is everywhere in our community, and Valley Link is one of the biggest lights to that. So
Well,
Godspeed and best wishes for everything. You deserve the very, very best retirement, if you really think retirement will take. But just
well,
so grateful.
listen, thank you. But I think there's a saying, something about behind every good man, there's a great woman. And see if I can do this without ruining my camera.
Oh, no.
Will you lean forward a little bit? I've had a great partner in crime, and when I start to make a mistake, she lets me know. And I certainly could not have gotten this far without the help of the assembly member, the senator. Michael Tree has been a great help, and then this board. I noticed some of you have come on since then, and John brought his cat. It's okay. My dog shows up at Zoom meetings all the time. But you know, no one person has done this. We've done this collectively. We've been a great team. We still have a lot of work to do, and I still, if you can believe this, plan on attending your meetings. So
Wonderful.
you know, just thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy day. I know, Senator, you're back in session already, I believe. I don't know, are you meeting at the King's Arena too?
No, we're on the red carpet.
Okay, all right, good. Well, listen, thank you very much. Does anybody else have anything they want to say to Assemblymember Baker or Eggman? I think, are you raising your hand, Veronica?
Yes, thank you
Go
so
ahead.
much. I wanted to just say thank you to both of you ladies. Like Scott said, not to be repetitively, but from the bottom of our heart, thank you for all your support, for the vision, for the teamwork that we were able to do, two regions coming together, and for the leadership from both of you and our chairman. We are eternally grateful. This is something that since 2014, 2015, since we started those conversations, it's been delightful, and is one of my favorite boards to participate and work on. And I am proud of the team that we have, and our chair is just a force to be reckoned with, and you two ladies is something to aspire to be. Thank you both. Congratulations to our new senator. Very proud of all the work that we have done and for the guidance, and we hope to continue make sure that you guys shine bright and this project gets done on time, on budget, and serving our communities together. So thank you both. Godspeed.
I would like to say, this is Bernice, and I would like to say congratulations to both of you ladies. Congratulations, and you both are faithful servants, and we just appreciate you so much for what you do for all of us.
All right, anybody else like to address Senator Eggman or Assemblymember Baker?
If I could say something briefly, Scott.
Yeah, go ahead, Philip, and then I got Paul.
Thanks. First of all, congratulations, Senator Eggman. And, it takes a lot of guts to do and sit down and sort through all this stuff, tenacity, et cetera. I had my Mayor Clarkson and I had our Make Sure They Go event last night, send off, what have you. And one of the things I mentioned is when you're in political office, you make a lot of friendships that you never anticipated, but also you get to do things that you absolutely never expected to do. And one of my best memories was being at the Greek Theater in Berkeley and having Catherine conduct the Mormon Tabernacle Choir to the Battle Hymn of the Republic that we all sang along. It was really a special night, and I was chuckling about that last night. And she's a very good conductor. She must have been in band in high school or something, because she knew how to keep time. So thanks very much to all three of you.
All right, Paul?
Yes, I just want to say thank you to Senator Eggman. I remember my swearing in with, I forgot where the location was there. I think it was in Livermore somewhere, and with Assemblywoman Kathleen Baker. I'm so grateful. This is an impactful project. We'll talk about my boss in a minute, but the chairman and the vice chair and everybody on the board, I'm just very grateful that I'm able to participate and impact the community the way it is. It's going to be a long way to go, but we are here, and as we move in and out, we make sure that we still let our presence be felt. Thank you so much, Senators. Thank you, Assemblywoman, and thank you, Mr. Chair.
And I would like to thank all three. Scott Hegarty for being the cheerleader, as well as the person that did all the heavy lifting and coordination and leadership to corral this crew. And then as well as we ended up doing at our level, it takes both tenaciousness as well as collaborativeness at the state level. And you two ladies were absolutely marvelous, and especially on the tenacity side. And we will all be the recipients of your labor and your effort on our behalf. And for that, I'm eternally grateful and thank you.
All right, anybody else?
I'd like to chime in again, say thanks.
There you go, John.
I was thinking about this the other day. Yeah, right here. You guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking about this the other day, how May of 2018, when we've been working so hard to get BART to come into down the 580 corridor to Livermore, and how dejected we all felt when they voted no. And then to raise this up, to work with the bipartisanship on the state, Chair Hagerty, Vice Chair Vargas, bringing this whole thing up and creating this from ground up. And now we've got over $700 million, which is like real money, to get this thing moving. And to see all of this coming up and to have been a part of that from the very beginning. I'm very, very proud of the great work that we've done as a group. collaboratively, bipartisan, and that's the way we're going to succeed with this. And thanks to the visionaries that have made this happen. So thank you all.
I don't think I see anybody else. I do know that some people, for the purpose of the role, have joined us. I know Paul. I saw somebody else.
Karen?
Karen, you were already on. You were
No, I wasn't.
Stepper?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were on at the beginning. You said, did you want to talk now? Is that what you're, did you want to say
Yes,
something?
Yeah, I was only on for the consent
Yeah,
agenda.
I know. I'm just trying to add, Cantu's on too. That's who it was. Go ahead, Karen.
So it sounds like we're doing here at the beginning what we might have done at the end. And Scott, I can't.
Oh, no. No, we just want to be thanking the two heroic women that took on the state at this point in our lives.
Oh, so you mean I get to talk about you later?
Yes, because I'm not the heroic woman.
All right, I'll come back. Thank you.
All right, anybody else? Anything for Assemblymember Baker or Senator Eggman? Well, I would just like to say thank you. It was a special treat having you on today. You almost made me cry. You pushed it to the limit, but you didn't. You had tears. I'll say that. But just the fact that I know you're both very busy, both in the public and private sector, and it's an honor for all of us that you took time out today. And we look forward to working with both of you in the future. And believe us, we're not going to be bashful as we move forward, and I don't expect you will be either. So thank you all so very, very much, and I appreciate happy holidays and appreciate you being here. Thank you. Okay, thank you. All right, so with that, Michael, do you have anything else, or did you just?
You know, that was certainly the most significant. I will make mention in the executive director's report that we're working with the 3 congressmen who have the Valley Link project in their service area, watching really close the potential for a stimulus infrastructure package to come along. So, you know, we're getting ready to give it our valiant effort with that to get a piece of the pie. The project team, you know, we'll talk about the operator today. We'll talk about the EIR, but, you know, Rick Rattray, your program manager, and the team behind Rick are working really hard to tee up your NEPA effort, which will follow immediately after the conclusion, the certification and adoption of your EIR. And they're also working with Caltrans for the 580 segment of the project, and then finally 30% design. That important design phase will begin.
Get us into the new starts in the spring.
So you know, I just have one final comment, and that is in regard to Chair Haggerty as he leaves office at the beginning of January. With your bylaws, you have Veronica, who will assume the chair position with the agency and fulfill the remainder of Chair Haggerty's term.
Oh, God.
And I think the board can expect that at the next board meeting, we'll also have an election for the vice chair of the agency. And so with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions, but staff's been moving night and day on the project, and some significant things happening today for sure.
All right, any questions for our executive director? All right, Mike, you got off easy. That's good. Next item of business before us is the MOU with the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission for service planning and management of the Valley Link operation. I think this is huge. People have constantly been asking us, you know, who is going to be your operator? And you know, I've had a chance to. I actually went to the ACE board thinking I was going to vote on this. At the last minute, they knocked me out and said, "John and I can't vote," and we both kind of looked bewildered on Zoom. But it's okay. We get to vote on it here. But a key Valley Link goal is project implementation that is fast, cost-effective, and responsive to our goals and objectives of the communities that we serve. And I believe personally that this partnership between ACE will help us achieve this. So with that, Michael, I'll turn it to you.
All right. So everybody see the presentation okay? I do have a few slides just to walk us through what we're up to today. So the objective is to approve a resolution, or the recommendation is to approve a resolution by the board authorizing the executive director to execute an initial memorandum of understanding with the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission to establish the process and the roles and the responsibilities for managing operations of the future Valley Link service, plus further documents related to the MOU and the commission support of the project. Okay, so just as a quick background, obviously AB 758 gave you the tools as an authority to plan, deliver, and operate the Valley Link project. A cost-effective, responsive passenger rail service between obviously the Dublin, Pleasanton, BART system and the San Joaquin County with connections and also complementary to the Altamont Corridor Express service. I would like to say why we're doing this, what the importance is. The Executive Steering Committee, for example, has been very vocal in wanting to see a presumed operator identified in the project, and that's for a couple of really good reasons. And mainly it's to be able to provide key input on things such as service planning and train control systems, the communication interface and protocols, and the vehicle technology. If the operator is not at the table while you're making key decisions such as those, your project is compromised. So we have looked for an opportunity to identify the presumed operator. I will say that as we have gone about with the Executive Steering Committee and discussed with the current rail operators in the region, all of them basically came to the decision or the recommendation that the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission is the most qualified and would have the right tools to be successful operating the Valley Link project. So this slide basically are some of the key points for why that is so. In regard to operating experience, the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission has an exemplary safety record. They've been operating the Altamont Corridor or Commuter Express for 20 years and the San Joaquin Regional Rail for 7 years. They have lots of service planning expertise. I mean, obviously we have built upon work that they have done on this project. And they also have extremely positive relationships in regard to planning with the CalSTA and Caltrans at the state level. In regard to Union Pacific, our discussions with Union Pacific have inevitably during those discussions, Union Pacific has told us that it would be very important to have an experienced operator who's been operating on the UP lines as an operator for the Valley Link project. So obviously, San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission does operate on UP right away, and they have a tremendous relationship with UP, which will be very helpful for the rail authority and for operations of the system. And then finally, as I mentioned, they have a stellar reputation with both the state, other regional agencies, and certainly the federal government with the FRA and the FTA. And of course, it eliminates the need to create a new transit agency for the purpose of operations, which I think is a goal of regional policymakers. So I'll just tell you a little bit about the MOU. After discussion with the Valley Link Executive Steering Committee and direction from both the governing boards, we are presenting to you a non-binding MOU that can start the process of additional MOUs or additional agreements as we identify San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission as the presumed operating agency for Valley Link. The initial draft MOU in your packet reflects our vision jointly to facilitate coordination and establishing the roles and responsibilities of the operating agency for the Valley Link service. I think as I mentioned, here's a couple of key points from the MOU. The first is the authority is established as the owner of the Valley Link service and is responsible for all the governance and project funding, policies, planning, development, implementation, and the service decisions. So you are continuing to be, with this MOU, the authority, the governing authority for the Valley Link project. Number two, the authority is interested in designating an operating agency early in the project delivery to provide input. We've talked about that. Three, the commission has the expertise and a successful track record to perform the services of an operating agency. We've discussed that. The first bullet point on this slide is the roles and responsibilities for the operating agency will be defined in agreements established through an iterative process where the authority and the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission evaluate those details at regular milestones throughout the project development process. And then finally, it's anticipated that following negotiations and detailed agreements would then be executed as we move along in the Valley Link project towards implementation and actual revenue operations. At the last board meeting, we discussed and the board considered and approved a resolution which set aside $300,000 from the authority's $46.8 million allocation from MTC to reimburse San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission's activities that are identified in the MOU and related documents. Basically reimbursing them for assistance and expertise that they provide on the project as we move along. So the recommendation today, again, is to approve the resolution in your packet, which would identify as a presumed operator the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission and establish the process and the roles and responsibilities for managing the operations of the future Valley Link service, plus further documents related to the MOU that will be coming along. With that, I'll conclude the staff report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, questions. I know there's questions. There's gotta be questions. This is a big deal here. I guess while we're prepping our thoughts here, I just want to say one of the reasons that I was excited about this, I guess due to the fact I've sat on the ACE board for 24 years, but also I'm surprised that Zuber's not on today. I hope he's okay, but I don't think he's ever missed a meeting. But I wanted to publicly thank Leo for all his work at the ACE board. Leo has just been when I said the other day when I first met the guy, I thought, oh my God, this is going to be a tough one. But he turned out to be a great mentor and somebody that I listened to and helped. I still feel the same way though about Philip alone. But I learned to really like Leo Zuber and I think he's a great guy. But having said all that, I think when you get down to it, there's also a trust factor involved. And Dan Levitt, a top-notch individual, somebody that gets a lot of projects done for ACE and really will be of huge benefit for us. And I just wanted to thank Dan. We've had some great times. We've had some times where you probably walked out of the office scratching your head. And Dan, I'm not sure if you're frozen or if you just don't move. I don't know what this is going on, but I just would like to say thank you to Dan for all his hard work, and of course not on the call is Stacy Mortensen, and Stacy probably runs one of the premier rail lines in the state of California, if not the United States. We get in very little trouble for those of us who sit on that ACE board, and that's what we all look for as elected officials. So did I stimulate any questions there for Michael? Dan, you are moving now, Dan. Way to go.
I had one, Scott. I had one,
go ahead,
one question. This is more directed at our esteemed council. What is the purpose of a non-binding MOU as opposed to just authorizing the authority to negotiate an MOU? I don't, and maybe this is a process. I've just never seen this before, and I'm curious.
I would just say it's you're not fully committed to it, but it's a way to formally state what your understandings are. MOUs are historically non-binding. They've in recent years tend to become more binding. In fact, we use them in labor agreements, but it's just a way to state both parties' approach. And I think when there are more detailed legal agreements that need to be produced, they will be, then you can, put a little more attention into them and put in real business terms. So here, I think it's just an important statement of a commitment and enabling, the A's to get involved in the real nitty gritty of the discussions with UP and with other parties and be able to get their expertise. But we're really not, it's, I don't want to necessarily analogize it to a marriage, but this is a friendship ring. We'll come up with an engagement ring later. But I think it's a nice step, and I think the good thing is it kind of gets everybody thinking, and it gets everybody's understandings out on the table, and then from there we can move and get into real business terms when it's appropriate.
Thanks. I think this is a real common sense approach myself. So thank you.
Wish I had a dime for every time I gave one of those out. All
Chair,
right. Any other questions? I see none on the panelists. If there's no other questions, I'm going to go to the attendees. I have one, which is 9,700. Unmute yourself and let her rip for 3 minutes.
Hello, Supervisor Haggerty. This is Bob Elliott.
Bob, how are you? You want to be moved over?
I am with the meeting by telephone only, so they're kind of going through a convoluted process to try to get recognized here. But at any rate, I want to start by saying I want to vote yes on the consent items, except for item A, the minutes, which I'll abstain from because I wasn't here at the last meeting. And then I'd like to just express my support for this item. As was mentioned, the Regional Rail Commission, of which I was actually a voting member, at our last meeting, expressed support for this concept. And I think it's just a common sense thing to do. So I certainly urge everyone to approve this item. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Would you like to be moved over? I think we can try to move you over to the staff. Is that possible?
He's on the phone.
Yeah, I think he's on the phone, Chair.
Yes.
So he cannot? All right, well, Bob, I'll keep an eye on you when you're ready to speak. So did you say you moved this item?
I will move it, yes.
All right,
I move we approve it.
And I think
Okay,
Marshawn is
second.
ready to second. Okay, so I have a motion and a second on this item. It was Elliott Marshawn.
Since we didn't have a chance to vote on this, I wanted to have the opportunity to second that.
You what?
Since we did not have an opportunity to vote on this on the regional rail, I'm honored to second this because this is huge to have a proven operator selected for this.
John, I'm sorry. Michael Conran thinks you can't vote for this, so.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm on this one.
I didn't say that.
Sorry for the late notice. All right. I have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call vote. Can we start with Bob Elliott, please?
We sure can. Director Elliott?
Yes.
Director Kinjo?
Yes, ma'am.
Director Cantu? Oh, he might have left. Okay.
No, he's on.
Yes.
He's there.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Chair Haggerty?
Yes.
Director Hernandez?
Yes.
Director King Tingle?
Yes.
Director Marshawn?
Yes.
Director McPartland?
Yes.
Director Narum?
Yes.
Director Olone?
Yes.
Director Stepper?
Yes.
Vice Chair Vargas?
Yes.
Director Warner?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Boy, that was
Rather
really
weighty
grand what I
term.
just did too, and I was on mute. So on December 2nd, I held it up. We killed a couple trees and we developed our draft EIR for the public comment. The EIR is available for a 50-day public notice review from December 2nd to January 21st at 5 p.m. Today, Michael's gonna, who's gonna do this?
I'll have Rich Walters from ICF, which is your lead on the environmental work, provide the presentation when you're ready.
Okay, we will not be taking public comment on the document. But will we be taking any public comment, Michael?
Well, it's
You
an
can take public
informational item.
It's an informational item. I mean, you
Sorry,
have to
I can't
accept
hear you,
public
Michael.
comment.
What?
I say you have to accept public comment, but it's not, we're not taking public comment on the document. There's a.
Okay,
there's a
so to the
mechanism.
public, if you try to comment on the document, we will shut you off.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead, take it away.
Hey, before Rich Walters provides the presentation, I had a picture. Candace, you have that picture handy that we could show the board?
There you go. Look at Mary
So, this is about half of,
Wow.
this is about half the document. It's about a 2,000-page document when you include the appendices. But you know what? I do want to make mention as we kind of take this picture off and get ready for the presentation that you know, Mary Ann Payne has been in charge of the environmental work. She's the environmental manager, among other things, with strategy. And I just want to mention that Mary Ann has worked like round the clock over the last few months at a minimum. And this is a huge monumental milestone, and you could not have done it without Mary Ann and just her tenacity and willingness to take advantage of every opportunity on this project, to have a great project and a great EIR. So I just want to publicly say how much I appreciate Mary Ann and what she's done for the project. But with that,
No, Mike, you can't say that.
right.
I think we all raise our hands and give a big clap for Mary Ann.
Very weighty tone.
All right, now you can segue to wherever you're going.
All right, sounds great. Well, Rich, you ready to go on the presentation?
Yeah, am I presenting from my side or your side?
Yeah, your side.
Okay, all right. Hopefully you're all seeing my screen now.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, we've got a brief presentation just giving you an overview of the EIR. Obviously, the board is very familiar with the project, so some of this will be a little bit remedial, but forgive me for that, but just for the sake of completion. Make sure mine is moving. Okay, so we started the CEQA process formally in September of 2018. We did scoping meetings at that time in the fall. We are, as Haggerty said, we released the document on the 2nd of December. And for about 50 days, which is a little bit longer than the statutory requirement of 45 days, because we wanted to give a little bit more time knowing that the holidays are coming up. We are going to be having several virtual public meetings. I'll talk about them a little bit later for people to get information about it. Then we'll be responding to those comments and making any revisions for a final EIR in spring, and bringing back a document in spring for consideration for certification by the board. Then, presuming approval of the project and completion of obviously of the CEQA process, we can move into final design and then obviously operation. The project objectives you are well aware of: to improve connectivity within the Northern California mega region, connecting all of us, our houses, our people, and our jobs, establishing connectivity between BART's system and the ACE commuter service, pursuing implementation that is fast, cost-effective, responsive to the goals and objectives of the communities it serves, be a model of sustainability, and support the vision of the state rail plan to connect the mega region to the state rail system. You know well the area of the project. what we're looking at between North Lathrop and Dublin as we connect the two valleys. The proposed project elements that are covered in the EIR include 42 miles of rail improvements, 7 stations, Dublin, Pleasanton, that will be an intermodal station with BART, Isabel, Greenville, Mountain House, downtown Tracy, River Islands, and North Lathrop. North Lathrop would be an intermodal with the ACE system there. These are part of the proposed project. We also include an operations and maintenance facility kind of on the west side of Tracy that is part of the proposed project. We have several variants that we've included in the proposed project description that are about alignments dealing with single tracks versus double tracks. This allows some flexibility depending on how you're working with Union Pacific and handling traffic of both the freight and the passenger needs in those areas, that we could go either way with the single or double track. We also include 4 different vehicle technology variants to allow some flexibility in making rolling stock choices. So all of these are part of the proposed project and be implemented. Diesel multiple unit, which is a fairly proven technology out there. A hybrid multiple unit, kind of like a hybrid car, that is more recent in there. A battery electric multiple unit, which would operate on batteries, but would also be recharged over the Altamont using an overhead catenary system. And diesel locomotive haul, which is very similar to what ACE runs today and some of the other commuter systems. So we studied the environmental effects of all of these. We also studied some alternatives at an equal level of detail as the proposed project in the EIR. So we provide some detailed analysis of these alternatives should the board decide to choose one or more of them. An alternative to the Greenville station, which would be located at Southfront Road, so a little bit west of the Greenville station, located on the south side of I-580. The Mountain House station alternative, this would be a little bit east of the proposed Mountain House station, would be on the east side of 580 instead of on the west side of 580 as in the proposed project. We have a couple different parking alternatives in downtown Tracy, that include a parking garage instead of surface parking. The proposed project includes surface parking. The alternatives include parking garages, at least for the near-term needs. We also have an alternative location for the operation and maintenance facility in West Tracy at a different location than in the proposed project. And we have an alignment alternative called the Stone Cut Alignment Alternative. It's a short alignment alternative at the top of the Altamont Pass, and it would bypass an existing railway tunnel that is there, and would be a little bit more direct, so it would shorten service times by allowing us to go on a less circuitous route. So it's a couple mile alternative there. The service characteristics that we're studying in the EIR, we studied both 2025 and 2040, so to allow for initial service and then sort of an increase in service over time as travel demand increases. So between Dublin, Pleasanton, and Mountain House, we're looking at a peak of 12 minutes, meeting every BART train in the western part of the service, and about 24 minutes in the eastern part of the service from Lathrop to Mountain House. And then that would meet every other BART train. And then there's a lesser frequency of service in the off-peak. In 2040, we'd be looking at the same 12 minutes and 24-minute headways for the two parts of the system, but we'd be having more frequent off-peak service throughout the middle of the day as we expect to have more demand, obviously, in the future years. Some of the key benefits, you've seen certainly this before. This is just but a few. There are other benefits, of course, but based on the ridership, about 33,000 daily rides in 2040. And with the service that would be provided up to 74 daily round trips. just under 100 million. That's an annual number of vehicle miles traveled, reduced on an annual basis. And depending on the vehicle technology, excuse me, that we choose, between 30 and a little bit over 40,000 of metric tons reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, also in 2040. All of you, I'm sure, are familiar with all the subjects that are required to be analyzed in a draft EIR. They are all listed here, so we've covered all of them. You know, air quality, agricultural resources, biological resources, safety and security, and so forth. So that's why that document that Marianne was holding up was so heavy. So we covered all of these issues. Less than significant or beneficial impacts that are identified. We have benefits in terms of air quality by lowering criteria pollutants, by moving people from individual cars into a rail mode. We also get benefits for greenhouse gas emissions, and we have a net energy reduction actually by using energy more efficiently in mass transit as opposed to in personal transit mode. We also have less than significant impacts on public services and safety and security based on the analysis in the EIR. We have less than significant with mitigation for a number of other resources, aesthetics, cultural resources, and so on. Most of the mitigation we have here is fairly routine things that you would normally expect with a railway project. So we found mitigation that can reduce these impacts to less than significant. We have some unavoidable impacts. They're very specific, using what CEQA has, even though we have mitigation. Agricultural resources, we do have some conversion of farmland that would occur in certain right-of-way take areas. Air quality, there's a cumulative health risk in the Tri-Valley area. This is based on the Bay Area Air Quality Management District sort of methodology. It's not primarily due to the project, but it's due to the project adding a very small amount of emissions to an existing high level of emissions is basically what's identified. We do have some impacts associated with certain locations around Greenville, Mountain House, and West Tracy that are kind of critical resource areas where we have a lot of mitigation, but there's still some unavoidable aspects. Same with some land use and planning, some of the noise effects, and potential for some localized induced population growth around the Greenville and Mountain House station. And the rationale for those is explained in the document. As I mentioned, we have a 50-day comment period until January 21st. It says 2020, that should say 2021, my bad, in the typo there. So you can't go backwards and get more time. Notices have been sent to stakeholders, people who commented on the notice of preparation, filed obviously with the state clearinghouse, sent to responsible agencies. We also did newspaper notices, and we have 3 virtual public meetings that are coming up where we can explain the project and also answer people's questions. We have a Saturday one for the early risers from 9 to 10:30 on Saturday morning. We also have, these dates were not updated. I will get you those dates in a moment of that. But they are, give me one moment. The actual dates.
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday the 16th and Thursday the 17th. The 16th is from 11, I believe it's 11 to 1. And the 17th is from, I believe it's probably 5:30 to, is it 5 to 6:30, I think.
5 to 6:30, yes.
Yes, so I apologize for that. Okay, comments are accepted through January 21st. They need to be sent by regular mail in written form or submitted via email. We aren't going to be taking formal oral comments today or at the public meetings. Obviously, people can comment on the item, but those will not be formal comments on the EIR that we respond to. If people want to submit those, get responses, then definitely submit them in mail by the time, by the deadline. And that's our presentation.
Okay, so I'm a little concerned. We put out 3 wrong dates. I don't know if, I don't know how we correct that because we have 25 attendees on. And I really hope that we figure out a way on our website or something to make sure we have the right dates up there. Because I don't want to be accused of saying it was one day and they went and nothing was there. And then the next day we had it and they weren't able to respond. And then we have to extend for another period because we're being accused of not doing it right. So we got to get these dates right. Having said that, I'm looking for any questions by the panelists. If so,
I have a question. Where
okay,
were these public
I'm sorry, Bernice. Can we get rid of the screen share now? There we go. Now I can see everybody. All right, Bernice, go ahead.
Okay, where would these public meetings take place? The one on the 12th, the 16th, and the 17th?
They are all virtual meetings.
Virtual, okay.
And we do have the correct dates on the website. It's only in this presentation that I made the error. We will obviously post the corrected.
All right, anybody else wish to ask a question? Mr. Mayor, John Marchand.
Yes, I just wanted to point out, Mr. Chairman, that the dates in the agenda are correct. So the agenda packet had the correct dates. It appears that only the dates that were in the presentation were incorrect. But if somebody goes to the agenda or the website, those dates are correct. It was only the people that viewed this presentation that saw the incorrect dates. So a small comfort.
The 12th, 16th, and 17th.
We're 50-50 right now. We're playing 500 ball, which I guess isn't bad. Anybody else have anything they want to ask before I go to the public? This is truly a great day. Okay, so I got one attendee, Vaughn.
Yeah, quick question for Rich. On the virtual meetings, you will be answering questions, right? Clarifying things.
Yeah, it won't be, I mean, people who come can say what they want. We won't be formally responding, but the purpose is to help them understand the project, and we will answer questions about the project and about what the EIR says. But the formal response to them would be provided when they submit their written comments.
Thank you.
All right, with that, I see no other attendees wishing to speak. Did we receive anything in writing on this?
We did not.
All right, so this is an informational item. Staff continue to move at warp speed, and good job. Okay, we're going to move to item 8, which is some more great news. And I think before we get too far on this, I want to thank our Vice Chair, Veronica Vargas, for all the hard work she's done on this. We have a lot of money, but we got a long way to go. And anytime somebody can put something together to help us get closer to that goal, certainly puts us in a position where this project becomes a reality. So I want to thank Veronica for her help on this. I'll turn this to Michael.
Great. Actually, I'll hand off to Michael Connor, and he's been working very closely with city staff and Tracy. So it'd be a pleasure to have him introduce the topic and walk through it with the board.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, this is enables us to take an important step forward. Not only does it enable the San Joaquin Valley to make a tangible, financial contribution to the project, but importantly, this property can serve as leverage for future federal grant funding, which your staff is working very hard to qualify for. What we've done, this is what you're being asked to approve here. Again, it's sort of like another friendship ring. It's a non-binding term sheet that lays out what the basic arrangements are for an option agreement to acquire the property. And we're trying to take both the city's needs and interests and the agencies into account. So the way the option will work is we can sign this agreement. What we're going to do next is negotiate an actual binding option agreement, which we will bring back to you for your approval. and the city will also take it up. And that option will give the agency the ability to acquire the property, but only after we've completed the final environmental impact report. And that report and the adopted project includes the use of the property that's at issue here. Obviously, very logical thing. If we're not going to acquire it unless we're going to use it. We also are looking at just potential delays, and the city was willing to have a 10-year term for that option. So once we sign the formal agreement, we'll have 10 years to exercise the option. And then once we exercise the option, assuming we've adopted the EIR and it has this particular property as part of the project, then we'll go through formal real estate closing to acquire it. I did have conversations with the Federal Transit Administration just to make sure that none of the terms in here were going to create any problems in terms of them being willing to recognize this asset in terms of getting matching funds for the grant. And they said it did not. So I think we're in good shape. I just recommend your approval. Happy to answer any questions.
All right, are there any questions? Veronica, did you want to say anything?
Just a few words. I encourage this board to consider the approval of this item, 200 acres to, if the EIR and when the EIR gets certified, could be put us in a good position. That is the alternative, the preferred alternative on the EIR. It's been a lot of work. I'm happy to report that by resolution, the City Council has agreed to enter into this MOU with the JPA. So in the site of we are committed and we're looking to have the early start of Valley Link, at least the OM facility in that place or nearby. So if there's any questions that any other panelists have, I will be glad to answer them. And thank you for considering this item.
Anybody else? I always knew that property was kind of cheap in San Joaquin, but $100 for 200 acres, that's not bad at all. I think we should jump on this. All right, this I believe is an action item, and I'll allow Vice Chair Vargas to move the item.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, where did that first one come from?
Ben Cantu.
All right, there you go. So Vargas, Cantu. Let me just make sure one last check. Okay, there are no speakers. Anything in writing?
No, we did not receive anything in writing.
Okay, so with that, I will call for a roll call vote.
Okay, and if I could just ask Bob Elliott to raise his hand so that we can get his vote as well, that would be great. And I'll start. Director Akinjo?
Yes, ma'am.
Director Cantu?
Yes.
Okay, I have to skip Elliott. Chair Haggerty?
Yes, Elliot's ready to speak.
Yes, I vote yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you could do that. I'm not familiar with all the ins and outs of Zoom. Director Hernandez?
Yes.
Director King-Tingle?
Yes.
Director Marchand?
Yes.
Director McPartland?
Yes.
Director Narum? Sorry, Director Narum? Okay, there you go. I can lip read. That was a yes. Director Alone?
Aye.
Director Stepper?
Yes.
Vice Chair Vargas?
Yes.
Director Warner?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes.
All right, thank you very much. That's a great day. Just hopefully bought a couple acres for $100. Not bad. Okay, so with that, I'm moving to the director's discussions, comments, questions, and agenda requests. Does anybody have anything? You're not a very talkative group today. Okay, I'll move to my favorite portion of the agendas, Recognition of outgoing board members. I don't do this well.
Well, Chair Haggerty, you do have 4 outgoing board members. Perhaps it'd be good to recognize them. We have board member Phil Alone, council member in San Ramon, who is leaving the board in the next few weeks. We have Mayor Marchand from the city of Livermore. We have Supervisor Bob Elliott from San Joaquin County, who will be leaving. And of course, we have Chair Haggerty, yourself, from the county of Alameda, who will be retiring and leaving the board. So Chair, it's up to your discretion. I do have a few comments. If you want me to go, I'd love to share them, and but would take your lead on how you'd like to handle and work through this.
Look, this is not our portion of the meeting. I think it's your portion of the meeting.
Yeah.
We can comment later. So be careful what you say.
Well, listen, you know, probably one of the memorable things that's happened over the last few days has just been the opportunity to meet with each of the outgoing board members. And I meant to get a picture, but I gave away the tokens from the board to the board members. They received each a railroad spike, and on the spike on one of the sides is Valley Link, and then on an adjacent side is the member, the name of the board member. So it's a memento from the agency, and we're hopeful that in the not so near future, we'll all participate in driving in perhaps some last spikes on this project and really celebrating that moment. But in the meantime, hope that you enjoy those mementos, those railroad spikes. You know, as I thought about Phil Alone, board member Alone, you know, I thought a lot about his service, certainly on the San Ramon Council. But as I thought about his service on the Valley Link board, even though I can't remember when the last time is we didn't have a unanimous vote, I remember some moments where we struggled a bit on some of the agenda items, and there were some differing opinions, which is natural and is to be expected and hoped for. And I think what I remember most about board member Alone is just in those couple of moments that were pretty rare, he was the grease, I think, in the system that with a sense of humor and a sense of practicality helped the board move forward with those agenda items that we were wordsmithing and struggling on. So, you know, it's certainly the thing that I think of in director or board member Alone is his sense of humor, his smile, his ability to help us see the big picture and keep things moving. I'll have a couple, let me just do a couple of other comments, and then I'll let the board members chime in. Certainly Mayor Marchand has been huge. It was a tough licking that we took by the BART board and them not wanting to extend BART to Livermore, and Mayor Marchand was leading the city and trying to get that accomplished. But, you know, what I most respect about Mayor Marchand is his ability to pivot, and he saw opportunity, and he has been relentless in talking to the city of Livermore residents about the merits of Valley Link and how in the end we're actually getting the better project done. And I would like to also certainly note his contribution's been huge. He was right there with Chair Haggerty at ACTC and fought hard for the $400 million in Measure BB being transferred into the Valley Link project. I watched him and heard of the phone calls that he made going into that meeting, and the you know, certainly the eloquent comments that he made in getting that approved. And then I'll think just a couple more comments here. Supervisor Elliott, board member Elliott. I think he's a man that we all aspire to be. I mean, I just have tremendous respect for him. He is one of the board members who, when we go into a board meeting, we know he's thoughtfully worked through the board packet, and he's thoughtfully written comments down he has provided some important comments during policy creation, and I think the other huge thing that I'll recall and remember always about Supervisor Elliott is his ability to work with the San Joaquin COG. Vice Chair Vargas and others know that we've had some moments with San Joaquin Council of Governments where we were really trying to emphasize the project and get it on the radar screen of the members there at the COG. And for Elliott was always very complimentary and supportive of the project and helped us, quite frankly, get through some interesting moments there. And then Chair Haggerty, you know, this one's a tough one. I teared up with State Senator Aikman and Assembly Member Baker and their comments. I mean, Scott, I look forward, number one, to working with you and continuing on this project. No matter how that occurs, I know that you're going to be there for the project and that you'll carry influence moving forward. I just want to say that I've seen Scott behind the scenes working. I've seen him at the dais back when we were meeting pre-COVID on important decisions at MTC. I've seen him in meetings with key business leaders in the Bay Area and elsewhere. He is an expert negotiator, and you've seen the fruits of that with $700 million basically identified and allocated to this project thus far. And I can promise you that that money wouldn't be there if it weren't for Scott working behind the scenes with phone calls and, quite frankly, negotiating right up till the vote's taken to make that happen. So I'm with others in recognizing Scott as the key player on this project, and I will all be eternally grateful for him. And I think for him, it's about the passion. It wasn't about the job title. It was about helping 100,000 commuters a day that are stuck in this horrific mega commute. And he works from the heart. And I think that's why he has gotten a lot of things done for Valley Link. And with that said, Chair Haggerty, we gave you a hat. I wanted to, I don't know if you've got the hat available, but we have read the minds of the board members and would like to designate Scott as an honorary conductor on the Valley Link project. And so we recognize on day one, he's not going to have a seat in the back of the train. I think it's going to be more in the front of the train.
Look at that.
Oh.
So is he a union member now? Is that?
We could say he's paid his dues.
I'm my own union. I would put it on for you, but I would just say it's a good thing I wasn't a cop because I look pretty goofy in a hat like this. If somebody asks, I will.
I love it.
That's great.
We're asking.
Oh, okay. Mary Ann asked.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
How do you like me now?
You look like Leonardo DiCaprio there, ready to drive a Pan Am plane, you know?
All right.
With that, Chair, I'll let the other board members say their comments, but certainly appreciate the opportunity to say mine.
All right. Anybody else before we, Karen?
Just a couple brief comments.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I got Karen and then Veronica.
Maybe you need Veronica first. She's vice chair.
Well, that's what I was going to do, but I'd already called you. So one of you go.
Go ahead, Karen.
All right, let's not argue over it. The time with coming to the beginning of these meetings went back to Livermore when we were talking about BART, and John Marchand has just been a champion since that began, and very tenacious and very eloquent when we'd go to Washington. And so I think that having that carryover has been immensely important to all of us. John, congratulations on what you've achieved and how you took it forward, no matter what the setbacks were, you kept going. Even that long break we had for a while and came back to meeting again. And for Scott, I think you've taken it from the little engine who could with your vision to that will exceed the European trains I ran on, because this one's going to run on time. And I think the reason that it's been such an amaze me what you have done and how you have pivoted every time there was any kind of delay was because you recognize the train's running in both directions. And it's not just like Danville serves because we know that we're going to take cars off the road coming over to this valley, but because we recognize through your leadership that we're going to put more jobs in the San Joaquin Valley, and we're going to have the train running in both directions full. So thank you.
Thank you. Veronica?
Thank you, Chair. I want to recognize the outgoing members. Phil, I'm going to miss you. You've been on my right side every meeting since we have started. And I enjoyed getting to know you. I enjoy your sense of humor. Even when things got a little serious, you had always a positive or funny thing to just light the conversation. So thank you for being there. Thank you for believing in this project. Thank you for your support. And I'm going to miss you. I know that you're pursuing other passions, and I wish best of luck.
Thank you.
Mayor John, talk about pivoting. Michael could not say it better. Sir, thank you. You're a key member of this group, and Livermore is a huge importance to this connectivity. And your support once was determined that Bart was not going to be going to Livermore it's been tremendous and very much appreciated, because on this side of the hill, we recognize that we needed to just be all together, all in as a group to make this a success. So thank you from the bottom of my heart and from our constituents on this side of the hill for having your support, your devotion, and your commitment for this project. To our supervisor on San Joaquin County, Bob Elliott, common sense is something that I always think of when I hear or read the name of Bob Elliott. Sir, you are somebody to admire, committed, always did his homework. Michael nailed it. Supervisor Elliott is always came to our meetings ready, and I can say that I felt that he always did his homework. And when it comes to support on this side of the hill, I'm grateful and thankful for his kind words, for his influence within the San Joaquin Valley, from his friendships and collaboration with this project. And I sincerely appreciate it, for sure. I don't think I can talk about Scott. Little daunting to realize that I'm gonna try to just put some tremendous shoes, and I hope I make you proud. I hope to continue being able to chat with you and bug you when I have questions or I need advice. I said it before. I admire, I see you as a mentor. And our organization will not be where we are and what the opportunity we have if it wasn't for you, sir. So I can make it through. I'm sorry about that. I just think that we are an extremely lucky organization, and I just, best of wishes. I hope your retirement is a joyful one, and if you get bored and if you want us just help us out, I hope you reach out to us. Thank you, Scott, for everything you have done for us.
Thank you, Veronica.
That's it.
Thank you. Anybody else?
This is Bernice. I have a very brief comment. I would
Okay.
like to just say amen to all of the comments that have been made regarding the outgoing directors. Everyone has been absolutely just stellar, and I've enjoyed being in your presence, working with you, learning from some of the things that you've said that has been absolutely inspiring. And I wish you all the best going forward in your endeavors. For Scott Haggerty, I will always link you with Valley Link. You have been an excellent chairperson on this team. And when I go to a meeting, it's always a comfortable feeling when the person who is at the helm is directing and you feel comfortable about with the direction that you're going. And it's very befitting for you to get a hat to be a conductor, because you have conducted this group very well. And I hope we continue to, I know we'll continue to move forward to make you proud, Scott. You're a very good chair and leader, and I've enjoyed working with you. End of comment.
So this is Kathy.
Thank you, Bernice. Thank you. Go
I'd
ahead,
like
Kathy.
Thank you. I'd like to say to Mayor Marchand, you know, Pleasanton certainly appreciates the tenacity and the commitment that you had to trying to get BART out to Livermore so that Pleasanton was no longer the end of the line. And when that didn't work the way we wanted it, you know, you were right there with the Valley Link and the idea of a train. And I think to the others, you know, the vision to not just stop with Valley Link or with the train in Livermore, but to take it to the other, over the hill and to the other side, deserves just huge credit and recognition for that. And I know, you know, on behalf of the residents of Pleasanton, we certainly appreciate that, because we're at the crossroads of 580 and 680 with the cut through traffic and everything as it is. And this will only help alleviate the traffic for the residents. And it's, you know, the leadership that is pushing that forward. And I want to say specifically to Supervisor Haggerty, to Scott, you know, this is another example of his storied leadership as a supervisor, with the tenacity to make things happen, and particularly in the area of transportation. And, you know, we're all going to benefit, and not just the residents of both Alameda County and San Joaquin County. You know, he's improved lives, and this is just another example of it. And I don't think, you know, we can really say enough in appreciation of that. And so, Scott, I thank you. If you need help with your accent, I'm in Tennessee. I'm sure Mayor Thorne would be happy to oblige you in developing that Tennessee twang. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yes.
This is Paul.
May I say
Okay,
something?
go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, I wanted to say is that, you look at what this board has accomplished, and it's pretty impressive. And I with respect to Bob Elliott and Phil, I just like to say is that I regret that I haven't had a chance to work with you longer. You're both great guys, and I wish I had that opportunity. And so we'll keep working here. And for Scott and John, I've known these guys nearly a decade, and I'm really going to miss you. And the amount of energy that you bring to these meetings, and in this venue as well, and others, it's not going to be as interesting, I would say. But I hope we'll all keep pushing along and carrying on what you've done, and it's just incredible. And I started out in public service and seeing you guys, and I've learned a lot from you, and I'm going to miss you.
Okay, we got Paul.
Yes. So I'm going to miss Mayor Marchand and Mr. Director Oloni, the way they like to tickle my boss a lot. They know what makes him tick and what makes him, it's just one of those things that you tend to enjoy. When I came, I know I have limited experience, but as I watch and notice how dedicated and the professionalism that surrounds this board, I had no choice than to go back and prepare to do my homework, like we said about our supervisor, Bob. He sits next to me, so he has his notes ready. So, and when it came to doing things on this side of the, I mean, COG was, San Joaquin COG was not an easy place to be, to get things through. But, you know, with Mr. Shisley and all the rest of them, and Bob was able to come in and help our vice chair and myself, you know, through some of the hurdles that we had. But to my boss, I've known Scott for more than 20 years. Many of you saw him in meetings and stuff like that, but I got to go to his office. I got to sit with him. I got to see the interaction with the staff and with everybody else. You know, we're going to miss you in Alameda County and the rest of it. I sat on some of your meetings, and when you were chair and when you were, you know, it's just been interesting to watch you, your negotiating power and the way, and I brought these things down from your office, from your meetings to all the colleagues and whoever wants to listen to the way to conduct things, both in and outside the professional arena, as I have worked with you all these years. So I'm going to miss you. I have learned a lot from you, both on this board and outside this board, and the MTC, and the way you negotiate. I'm really impressed, sir. So thank you so much for all the things you have done for Alameda County and now for San Joaquin County. We are greatly indebted to everything you have done for us. The only thing I can promise you is that we will do the best we can to continue to invest more on the foundation that you and your colleagues and the outgoing directors have laid for us. You know, we are all in transition. This is not a permanent thing for many of us, but we want to be conductors too one day. So thank you.
I'll let you wear the hat, Paul.
Yeah, I do. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. I got Benjamin Cantu, and then I have Melissa Hernandez. And then John.
And John.
Marshawn, I'm holding off for you.
I just want to say that I'm the kid on the block, I guess. I haven't been on the board that long, but Scott, it's become obvious to me on day one that you're the leader here and you're the one with the experience. And I did do a little research on you. You're a well-rounded individual in this area. So I think that was a good choice, whoever made it way back when. And I think the group will continue on that same path you started, and stay healthy, stay safe, and enjoy your retirement. Thank you.
Thank you. McPartlin.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wait, Melissa, where did your hand go?
Well, I raised it down because you already had said Melissa.
Okay, John, I'm sorry. Melissa's up and then you.
Okay.
No, and I just want to briefly just say, you know, Mr. Elliott and Phil, it was nice working with both of you. I know that we didn't have the chance and the ability, you know, to be able to work with each other more closely, but I want to say the best of luck. And Phil, I will miss your jokes and all the meetings that you bring forward. But John, and I have a feeling that John's going to still stick around behind the scenes. So I will be looking forward to all of our cities working together. And obviously Supervisor Haggerty, my boss, my mentor, and a very good friend. And you've heard me also at our council meeting, but you are the creator of Valley Link. And I remember reading the article a few years back when you said, listen, if BART is not going to do their job, then I will have to do it for them. And that's exactly what you did. You brought Valley Link to a different level. And not only is it going to help so many individuals with a better quality of life and trying to get everybody off the road or as much as we can, but just saying and making that statement that if somebody else is not going to do the job, you'll do it for them. And that's exactly what you did. And you are definitely the conductor of this group. And I hope that we can always still keep calling you for advice in the future.
John McPartlin.
Melissa, that was absolutely fantastic. I would have to end up saying that I agree with you 100%. Well, globally, for all those people that are leaving, the older I get, the more folks I see that depart and retire and go on to other things. And the first thought in my mind is congratulations for them. They earned it. And my second thought is now what the hell are we going to do? Because the corporate knowledge that we have lost is something that we have to scramble for and learn anew in some cases and guide our own path. For Scott Haggerty specifically, though, I've got to tell you that the very first elected official outside of fellow BART directors that I had any meeting with was Scott Haggerty. And the degree and amount of knowledge he had about BART because of his leadership in that area and trying to plow that road was not only inspirational, but also educational to me as a BART director as I ended up going forward. And for the last 12 years, I've been able to watch and observe him first only in relationship to BART, and then later in relationship to everything that he does to transportation. And I don't think that we could put down on paper all the things that he has not only participated in, but led in throughout the 12 years that I've had the opportunity and pleasure to work alongside him and to learn from him. And for that, Scott, there's no way for me to pay you back or the things that you've been able to impart and give me as far as knowledge is concerned. I just hope that I could end up, or for that matter, all of us will be able to impart that to our followers as well as you have been able to do for me personally. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Very kind. Okay, so is everybody done? Because now
I'm sorry.
I'm going to get to you, John. I got you hanging there, John. Luciano, did you want to say anything?
Want to say something?
Hi. Okay, good. All right. Nobody else. Then we're going to hear the rebuttals now and the get evens. So I'm going to start with Mayor Marchand.
Well, you're going to be disappointed. First off, let me say thanks for the Valley Link Railroad spike. This is going to occupy a place of honor. But you know, with all the years of perfect timing, with all the years of working in public boards and in politics, the hang on just a
Love.
sec. So after all the years of working together in public office, I really appreciate the commitment and the collaboration that we have had on this board. But recognizing that having been on all these different commissions and boards, when it ends, there's always the opportunity to say goodbye. And that's something that I'm really going to miss. This is the first time, having worked so closely with all of you, that we're not going to be able to have the handshakes and the hugs that we've had in the past. And I'm really going to miss that, because these really are different times. And I realize that as I'm coming to the end here, this is the last opportunity that as the mayor of Livermore, I will have the opportunity to say thank you. And I didn't want to miss the opportunity to say thank you to Scott in the way that we usually do. And that's with a proclamation from the city of Livermore. And of course, we've got a whole long list of whereases, rightfully so. But I just want to highlight a couple of those. And that's that whereas Supervisor Haggerty has worked tirelessly to alleviate constant traffic congestion on Interstate 580 and push for the completion of Warm Springs BART Station in Fremont, and shepherded the Valley Link project from its inception and served as its first chairman. And whereas in addition to addressing local and transportation issues, Scott Haggerty has also contributed to his community In 2012, Supervisor Haggerty hosted his first annual holiday open house, where his staff, family, and friends welcomed members of the community as they dropped off items for the toys and food drives, benefiting charities such as Open Heart Kitchen, Abode Services, and Tri-Valley Haven. He also secured funding for a local tiny home project to house the unsheltered, helped retire the Bankhead Theater debt, and secured the host community impact fees for the Bankhead Theater. And recently, to assist with the COVID crisis, established the District 1 Small Business Grant Program and the District 1 Drive-Through Mask Distribution event. Now, therefore, the City Council of the City of Livermore thanks Supervisor Scott Haggerty for over 24 years of service to the residents of Alameda County, for his dedication to his community, and for being an advocate and a tireless champion for transportation. The City Council wishes him well in his future endeavors. And Scott, thank you very much for everything that you have done for Livermore, for your community, and for Alameda County, everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I really appreciate that. I would just like to say yours is being worked on. Still needs a few more signatures. It's a little harder, but I think I'll see you at your city council meeting.
I'll get this to you. I'll get this to you tomorrow. Drop by your office.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That was really cool. Anybody else? So now I'm going to go to Supervisor Elliott.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Am I still on?
Yes, and you can rebut to all these things they said about you.
Okay. Well, I too want to say thank you for this railroad spike. I have to say this is the first time I've ever received a railroad spike as a memento. It's a very handsome spike and doubles as a multi-purpose tool with a bottle opener carved into the side. So I'm sure I'll be able to make some great use out of this. And I too would like to thank the other departing members of this board, Phil alone, who always made such valued participation in our meetings, John Marchand, not only with this board, but also with the Regional Rail Commission. I always look forward to his positive and outgoing and friendly appearances at those things, not to mention the always common sense things that he had to say. And you, Scott, as well. Everyone's talked about your can-do attitude, your drive. That's what made this board really work and accomplish things. So congratulations to all three of you and best wishes in the future. And I'd also like to give a special plug to Michael Tree as well. I just want to say, Michael, I think you were the absolute right choice for the position that you're in. And you've done a great job, and I'm sure you'll continue to take this project on to significant accomplishments and to a successful conclusion. So it's always been my purpose throughout my career, my various careers, not only through 30 years in the Army, but also 10 years now as an elected official. It's always been an honor to serve. And it's always been my intent to approach the responsibility with common sense and with an eye toward supporting and enacting policies and actions that made sense and would do positive things for the people that we represent. So it's been an honor to serve with all of you, and I wish you all the best in the future as well. So thank you again.
Thank you, Bob. Going to go to Philip Alone. Thank you, Philip. Those great words.
Thanks, Scott. So I didn't realize it's a bottle opener. You see that? God, I'm getting old. I didn't even notice that.
Get that?
This is the first legal railroad spike I've ever gotten. Having lived near a train tracks, we of course absconded with a few. But first of all, a couple of things. Both county supervisors, I always say to people, that's the worst job in politics, is trying to figure out how to run a county. So the county has to do all the hard work. And I thank you both for your service. Supervisor Elliott, I want to especially thank you for, I think you're much like me in that you throw around nickels like they're manhole covers in terms of their value. And I always appreciated your prudence as far as how we were spending money. I think it was throwing around big dollar figures, and people forget about the smaller ones that matter a lot as well. This is Mayor Marchand. Thank you. I know you've been doing this a long time. This is the only sort of non-San Ramon thing I've participated in, other than Save Mount Diablo, which is a passion of mine. And one of the things about my great and great grandfathers were surveyors for the railroad, crossing in the 1830s and 40s across Pennsylvania and the Midwest. So I guess railroads have always been in my blood. And this has just been a really wonderful and impactful experience. And it's a really telling example of how people matter. We wouldn't be where we are at this point without Chair Haggerty. I think we all know that. And Scott, you're going out, I'm sure, on a Waves of Glory hymns or something like that. But I really want to wish everybody here the best. This has been a wonderfully productive group. And Veronica, I'm ruining the fact that it's Christmas time and I'm not mooching cookies off you. And I'm also, I'm having flashbacks of my mom, the politician, and having to be in the front seat while she was at meetings. So trip down memory lane. So I want to wish everybody here all the best. This thing is going to happen. And my other regret is that I won't be able to go on any junkets to foreign ports to see these trains that we might buy. So that's the one regret I guess I have. But thanks, everybody. It's been wonderful. And Scott, thank you so much for being a great leader.
Well, Philip, I didn't think you were going to say anything nice about me, but thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Well, you know, I had to write a couple things down, right?
There you go. Sitting there biting on your lip, aren't you? Making it hurt.
Oh, I did have one other comment. The board should, as I leave, should strongly encourage our executive director to buy something besides a Prius. It's just not fitting of a man of his stature. I would just...
A Prius?
Yes, he pulled up in front of my house in a Prius, and I did not say nice Prius because I know you're not supposed to say that. But anyhow, we gave him a nice raise. He needs to do something with it. So.
Well, listen, I was his next door neighbor.
I agree.
And there was many cars out front.
Okay. Oh, so okay, he got it was the first one in the driveway.
Maybe he was just out of gas. Okay, so I guess this is my turn, and I'm going to try to get through this, but I'm going to get through. I do want to say this. I want to thank Michael Tree, a true visionary. I mean, he runs the Transit Agency of the Year for 2 years in a row, and he's done some great things. And not only is he a great executive director, but he's just a really awesome person, and somebody that I kind of feel is like my brother, my older brother, I should say, but somebody that you know, I trust to talk to, and I think that's what's important. I would also really like to real quickly just thank the Labda staff, and I know Tamara's on, and all the other staff members that do help Michael, because this is a team effort, and I want to make sure we thank them. And Michael Conran, thanks for keeping us all straight. I certainly appreciate that. Dan Levitt, thank you for all of your help with ACE and helping us kind of steal some of your information that you had done as far as ACE Forward to kind of help us get through our environmental process a little quicker. So I would just like to say, you know, I was sitting here thinking while you all were talking, and I realized that this is a meeting that has, these are meetings that have really great attendance. And I hate to say it like this because it sounds a little ridiculous, but this is also a meeting that does not pay a stipend. And usually when meetings don't pay a stipend, you don't get the A team like we have on this committee. You get the one, well, give this one to that person, give the committee this to that person. And what's striking to me is we all come, we all attend, and we're all doing really good work to try to get this train built. And for that, I appreciate each and every one of you, because you really epitomize what being an elected official is, the hard work, dedication to do something better for the communities that we represent. I am wondering if you can hear me because you're all frozen.
No?
Could you hear me? You can hear me? Okay. Okay, good. So having said that, I just want to say to each and every one of you that I've thoroughly enjoyed working with you. This board has been something that I am extremely proud of. And I'm extremely proud in each and every one of you and the work that we do. I'm not going to go through each and every one of you because I'll miss someone. And I really would hate to do that. I might, though, still, I don't know. I just want to say to my vice chair, she is an absolute joy. She is somebody that I've gotten to know both professionally and personally. And, talk about a bull in a china cabinet. If she wants to get something done, she will take no prisoners. She's absolutely tenacious. And I leave her this committee chair and know that my shoes are now a pair of pumps, and that she will do just fine with those pumps. And she may stick them in somebody's rear end if they don't cooperate. So I'm fine with that. To the rest of you, Karen, Kathy, and by the way, I do hope Jerry's doing better. You don't want to answer? Okay. And
No, I'm sorry. He is doing better, and he came home from the hospital on Monday of this week.
That's good.
Yes.
Bernice, Karen, Bernice, Kathy. I just spaced on her name. Was it Debbie Moorhead? Well, Debbie was on here too at one point.
Yes.
All of
Yes,
you
yes.
have contributed awesome and really just done a great job. And I thoroughly have enjoyed working with you because, and the reason why I brought up Debbie is because, back in the day, when she was on this committee, she said some really sweet things to me after a meeting, and I hope everything is going well for her. And Kathy, you've always been a hard worker, and Karen, same with you, and Bernice, you are an absolute joy to get to know. There's just no way around it. Melissa, yeah, I'm your boss, but you, over the last few days, have said some pretty sweet things, both at the Dublin Chamber and here. So yeah, here I am. I'm calling everybody out now, and I'm going to forget somebody.
No, you won't.
Huh? And
No,
to
you won't.
Mayor Marchand, we have been through a lot of these things in the last couple of weeks, and first of all, they're extremely painful, I think. But John and I, when we really look back at our respective resolutions, we will find that together we got a lot done. We built a regional theater. We built a smaller regional theater. I guess we never did get to the regional theater, but we've worked on many projects together. And I guess what I would say to that is, we don't do this alone. You can sit here and you can try to give credit to somebody, but quite frankly, it doesn't work without Michael Tree, Dan Levitt, Veronica Vargas, Karen Stepper, Bernice, whoever, any of these people. It doesn't get done if we don't all show up, in Bob Elliott, unless we all show up and do our work. And so I'm gonna stop now, but I do want to thank each and every one of you. Getting to know you has been the joy of my life. I mean that sincerely. And I love each and every one of you. Even Cantu. I love Cantu too. Just want to see if he's listening.
Of course I'm listening.
Okay.
Hey, you're like
All
my
right.
wife. You're like my wife. If I'm not looking at her, I'm not listening.
All right. So is there anything else? Anybody else got anything? By the way, Rick,
I'd like to know if we can ever come to Tennessee to visit you.
you're all welcome to Tennessee. It's pretty boring out on where I live, though, but I live by Leaper's Fork, which is an awesome place. Real quick, I did want to say to Rick, you know, this is kind of your baby to get going. Don't screw it up. Get it built. And last but not least, you know, Paul always refers to me as his boss. I'm not his boss. You know, I still remember the day when I was walking through the tunnel and I saw Paul, and you know, we said our hellos like we normally did, and then Sean said, "Do you know he's a mayor?" And I said, "I did not know that." So, Paul, good luck to you politically wherever you wind up and go, but you have a lot to offer, and you know, you do a great job for Alameda County, and I certainly appreciate it. Okay, so that's it. I am done. I hope I didn't forget anybody. But if I did, and by the way, Phil, I like to give you a bad time, but I really do love you. You're a good man.
Oh,
Thank you,
All
Scott.
right. Okay, anything else before us today? I think we're adjourned.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy
Is that where we're
holidays.
at? We're adjourned?
happy holidays.
holidays.
Happy safe
Stay
holidays
safe and
to all.
stay
Exactly.
healthy.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
holidays. Merry Christmas. Thank you all.
See
Merry
everybody.
Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Bob.
Bye.
Mayor Mashan, don't be a stranger. You know,